Hey guys, Chad here, PAX East 2016, and we're going to talk about Mafia 3. I'm very excited because the trailer just released like 4 days ago. So let me know, give me an overarching view of what Mafia 3 is for those who don't know.
Mafia 3 tells the story of Lincoln Clay, a Vietnam vet and orphan and member of the Black Mob who wages war against the Italian mob in 1968 in our version of New Orleans, a city called New Bordeaux.
That's really cool. So you've taken sort of the, from Mafia 2 is set a lot further back now. We're kind of more in the future in a 70s sort of thing. That's really cool. So how does the gameplay and the narrative sort of work together?
So we're really focused on, again, continuing the tradition of strong narrative with the franchise. Mafia 2 was really well known for its strong story. We're trying to continue that. But within that, we want the player to have some freedom to kind of create their own experience. So one of our mantras is every player's story or every player experience is unique. So the player will have moment-to-moment choices in terms of, do I go and I take down this racket guns blazing? Do I go in, kind of more of a stalking approach? But then that also carries over to kind of big beats. Every time you take down a racket in the game, every time you take over a part of the city, you have to figure out which of your underbosses to give it to, who's going to run that, and that has kind of short-term benefits but long-term consequences.
Got it. So everyone's game sort of near the end could look very different from everyone else.
That's our hope, based on the choices you make in terms of kind of who you give territory to. If you get greedy and you kind of pit the guys against each other, that's going to have some ramifications. There are ways to play the game where you kind of keep everybody, they'll never go rent a house on the beach together, but your underbosses might learn to respect each other. But you could also end up with them at your throat.
What do you think is going to sort of surprise players and get people really excited about Mafia 3?
Well, hopefully they're surprised on multiple different levels. I think that the story is very nuanced and there's a lot of surprises throughout the story. Depending on how much time you spend or how much you invest in various characters, you'll learn some surprising backstory, I think, about your underbosses. Also, really hope people are just surprised kind of in the moment-to-moment when they turn a corner and they see a little narrative moment in a sham construction site, for example. Hopefully they'll be surprised by all the little details we've kind of packed into the world.
How big is the world?
It's very dense, so we really try and focus on how dense is the activity, I guess. And you look at the city, and if you're wandering through the French Ward, every back alley has something going on. There's all kinds of stores you can go into and kind of use that as to cut through and kind of do sneak attacks on the mob. So there's just a lot packed into a very small amount of space in each district.